Good evening. Once again, I feel compelled to say a few words to reiterate that I am still in existence somewhat, but sufficiently so that I feel something can be done, maybe even something that was being done before that didn't get done all the way that it could have been done, which seems to be a recurring theme around here. Quite a bit more frequently than I would care to admit, but yes, I'm here. Done with work, done with the appointment stuff, and in a position where I don't really have to worry about anything for the remainder of the day, including the time that I devote end of the morning to this, so who knows, this might be like a recurring thing where I actually at least try to stream at least at more or less this time each week, but who knows. What I would like to do at any rate, oh wait a minute, I have to not have this visible because I'm not doing a demo stream right now. But yeah, what I would like to do today is go back to Deadly Premonition, which is something that we left in that state that I was mentioning just a little while ago, some time back, but which I would like to bring to its conclusion just so that I can have the entire playthrough of mine as a reference for convenience for a certain purpose, but yes. But yeah, hello to anyone who may have made it here in this fine occasion, by the way. Hello Burn, hello Chocolate Cakey, welcome in. And to whosoever may find that this is a thing. I think I've gallivanted in sort of idleness for long enough. I'm going to try to play video games now. Let me see. I did run a very quick test before I started, so with any luck this should at least not be a complete and abject. This thing that I was hoping to work doesn't work anymore at the moment. It shouldn't be like that, but I do believe we should be, as a matter of fact, in a remarkably convenient position to resume the game, because if my sort of personalized walkthrough that I was referring to during my previous bout of streaming the game is any indication, we should pretty much be right at a point in the game after I complete pretty much all of the side quests that I wanted to complete, which is basically all of them, because I am going for 100%. Basically all the side quests, while keeping that in mind, I would be looking out for until the end of the game, pretty much. There's just a few cards that I'm gonna have to look out for here and there, but nothing too immediate by the looks of things. You know, worst comes to worst. Okay, I think the game has finished warming up. Let me see if I can get it up on the screen here. Worst comes to worst, I'm pretty sure that the only, you know, just because of the nature of how the thing works, the thing being this game, where you can just replay missions from the mission replay thing. Think about just the only thing you gotta look out for is the mission where you bring all the bones to Willie's doghouse, because you basically only get one chance to like actually do that mission and do it correctly, but I believe that that's considerably behind us, given that I think we already have the best possible reward from that, which was the Infinite Magnum. So yeah, worst comes to worst, I screw up and I miss something, I can just go back for it. It's not really cause for concern, but as you can see, the autosave is on, even though I don't even remember if I have that on, because that's a bit of an issue with the whatchamacallit, a few chapters in the game, but I believe, you know, funnily enough, we're also pretty much past all the points in the game where that's sort of focal concern, potential focal concern. But yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and start. Well, I guess I can keep this playing just a little bit longer, because I don't think we can skip these logos that flash by before the start of the game. Something that I haven't even brought up yet that's I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of fun is trying to figure out how I can even recap the plot of the game thus far, because I guess we're gonna need a bit of a refresher after being away for a few months from this endeavor. But we'll get to that in just a few moments when we get to that bridge. Alright, we should be on to... Yeah, there we go, the actual game audio now. Oh, that is a bit quiet, but I think that might just be because of the sound effect settings that I have carrying over into that being the... I guess the volume for the menu music. So look at this, yeah, the BGM volume is at 100%, sound volume is at 30%, which it kind of has to be with this setup that I'm using, but I mean, I didn't make any changes, so sure, I'll cancel my changes. No, I did not change anything. Right, well, anyway. But yes, it shows there, I believe we're at chapter 15 in episode 3. Which, well, we'll look at the little summary that I'm pretty sure is going to show up regardless of when we load back into the game.
So, you want to find out everything there is to know about Diane?
Agent York, Nick is leaving the bar.
Wait! She's still alive.
Stop right there, Nick. You're under arrest for the attempted murder of Diane Ames. Emily, hurry!
You saved my life.
No need to thank me for that. I'm pretty useless. I couldn't save Becky. I couldn't save Diane.
Yeah, it is a little quiet, but... And I think we have a little, another brief dialogue scene coming up here.
Zach, let the treasure hunt begin. A crowded place, and yet it is very quiet there. Have you figured it out, Zach? It must be the graveyard. There's lots of people there, but none of them can speak. You see? So let's get going to the graveyard.
Alright, I think that more or less confirms my little suspicion that I had, where for some reason the, I guess, pre-rendered FMV audio just reads off entirely off of the sound effect volume for some reason, and yet when you actually get into the in-engine gameplay here, it's a lot more balanced according to the settings I had. And if I remember correctly, well, we were wearing this heart suit, I don't quite remember what it does. It's probably gives you more health, but I'm pretty sure that a long time ago we got that there weather doll, which makes any need for healing like more or less obsolete, but I'm pretty sure we're supposed to have like better cards than this at our disposal, but I believe we've also done a bunch of side quests in the past that upgraded just about everything there is to upgrade about these generic and basic police cars. Oh dear, oh gosh, where are we going? Actually, wait a minute, do we even have to drive anywhere? It occurs to me that I probably should drive for a bit just to see if York comes up with any tidbits of conversation.
We're supposed to play along with Harry's little game, remember?
I know. I'm with you on that. I don't like being played with either, but we've got 3 victims now.
3,
We need to prevent that
quote
number from
unquote.
becoming 4.
4, quote unquote. So I guess we will drive a little bit, but yeah. Oh god, I haven't even attempted to begin to make a summary, but basically we're in wacky Twin Peaks land where there's been a murder, but now there's been 3 murders, as we've just gotten a bit of a reminder of. I guess we'll look at the map in here, in the maps, the pause screen I mean. And there may be a raincoat killer and or zombies and or a whole bunch of supernatural stuff and some kind of shady business with the town's past involved, and that last bit is at least what we're looking at now. We've been invited by the spooky, eccentric rich guy who apparently owns most of the town and always wears a gas mask and always stays indoors to go check out the cemetery. There may be something, well, I guess he told us in a riddle, but we just spelled it out to ourselves.
Anyway, Zach,
Oh boy.
there aren't many young women left in this town.
Even Emily could be targeted next.
We can't rule that out.
All the more reason to catch the raincoat killer ASAP.
And that means working closely together. We can work out the Emily situation later. Don't get me wrong, Zach. I mean, I'm not interested in Emily because she's female or anything. I'm just saying she's interesting. You know, as in interesting person. But by looking at her, she reminds me of something I used to feel. That's all. Like back when I first met you. You know, that feeling we all used to feel back when we were kids? Feeling safe while also feeling a need to protect, that kind of feeling. But Zach, who made me feel that back then? Anyways, we're getting closer one step at a time to cracking this case. I have a feeling it's going to get tough.
Well, if that was any indication, I think that York doesn't have the easiest time properly figuring out how to put his feelings into words, but I guess another detail that we would surely find out about, or we would surely have to mention if we talk about the victims. They've all been young women. There's Anna Graham, who is the Laura Palmer of this game, and then there's Becky, who we barely knew anything about and basically would have known nothing about if we hadn't done all the side quest stuff on purpose, because you can skip the one that involves her altogether. If you're not looking for it. I'm trying to remember what the orange arrows even mean. But then there was the first victim, who was the kind of weird art gallery owner who apparently was out to be with anyone that was so inclined. And who knows what will happen next. I think I remember. I think the yellow or orange arrows are for the spirit map stages, where you kind of have to go through these little gauntlets in order to get some kind of surprise, which is usually one of the infinite ammo weapons, of which we've collected quite a few. I feel like we actually have quite a few of those in our inventory, because we've also unlocked the weapon and item bags, which just increase our capacity for those things. But hey, we're here. I don't know that we'll be needing any of that right now, but it's always a good thing to have available.
Just as Harry said, it's crowded and quiet. Hey, Brian.
Agent. Mr. Agent, how are you?
Not bad. I'm, just playing a little game with Harry.
Game? A game? Oh, is that fun?
We've only just started, Brian. The fun is about to begin. I'd like to ask you something, actually. Is there a tree in the graveyard that drops red seeds?
Seeds? Red seeds? That tree does. And that one. And that one too. All red seeds.
And yeah, they all just kind of stand out quite a bit, don't they? And that's honestly a bit of one of the contentious plot points of this game, if you want to get into that, which is... God, what was I looking for? Which is... Okay, I was trying to figure out what my hunger and sleepiness stuff was, but apparently we're in very good shape in that regard, because we can get like a few... We can get infinite food items from a couple places in the game, but anyway. But yeah, these trees, they kind of stick out like a sore thumb, and you can literally, from the moment that the game world first opens up, you can just pull up right here, and you can see these red trees, and be like, hey, that's kind of suspicious. Isn't the whole plot, you know, to do with... Oh yeah, this is the flamethrower. I was trying to remember what does what. Oh yeah, by the way, Brian, there's zombies over here, but the plot has to do with spooky red seeds being like the common element in some serial killings that aren't even limited to this location, and yet you can see them plainly being here whenever you show up, and yet You can't actually do anything about that until the plot says that you can, which is right now at least, so we're not gonna get too hung up about that. Might get a little hung up on the possibility of probably having to gun down more zombies, or excuse me, shadows is what the game called them, in this very narrow space, but hey, at least with the infinite submachine gun, it's less a matter of can you do it and more a matter of how efficiently can you do it. But well, maybe we should try something different, like the infinite magnum, which I was talking about just a while ago. If I can remember how to... oh shit. How to do things with the guns. Oh dear. That's a long recovery period, but I guess we didn't get got by the shadows during that time. I'm guessing that this might have a long reload time as well. No, that's actually... the reload time is actually shorter than the recovery period from what I could tell. We can carry the dart gun, which I think is useless, in that it just doesn't do damage. It's specifically for playing the darts game in the bar. Yep, we could stick them with darts anyway. What else do I have with me? I have the legendary guitar, which is, you know, it's touted by some as like the best weapon in the game, but well, it does have a very high damage output. It also, oh shit, it's also a bit of a pain to be able to aim properly. So we probably won't bother with that. Let's just go ahead and go with the more efficient choice for the remainder of this, I guess. Don't really have to stall in this footpath for that long. Amazing, okay. I mean, I guess, in a sense, it might... oh, fuck. It might be more efficient, too. I'm trying. There we go. It'd be more efficient to go for a melee weapon here, but... well, maybe I'll end up eating my words. Oh boy. I was gonna say, especially if it turns out that all of a sudden we've, actually gotten trapped between a group of these, but... well, I suppose that's not the case. You know, usually when there's like these big black blotches on the ground, they just keep coming out of. Oh dear. Usually if you kill enough of them, the black blotches just kind of recede and disappear, but I suppose that's not gonna happen today. That's a bit of a shame. Okay, you know what, I'll bring out the guitar. This might actually be my best bet here. Ooh. Oh shit. Okay, that's the thing, oh dear. The hitboxes for this things, and this one in particular, is pretty insane. And I don't think it's actually, oh dear, I don't think it's actually very efficient to pick up a lot of these items that these guys are dropping, just because I think I'm already basically at full capacity for all of them for one, and for the other thing, you know, there's the whole weather doll thing, which kind of makes sense. Yeah, I'm already at full capacity for all types of first aid kits. I literally don't even need the shotgun shells or the rest of this stuff, because I have infinite ammo weapons. So I'll probably just ignore those. Try to power through, because I think we've been at this long enough. And here we are. I'm fairly certain we've actually, you know, come this far before. Come into the, this part of the graveyard before the actual plot reason to do that came up. Maybe to collect something like a bone for a side quest or some such other thing that may have been back here, a card maybe, but now we're here for a different reason.
Zach, mission accomplished. Let's get back to Harry's. The reward better be good. But you know, about these seeds, they were right here under my nose. It's as if I was carefully carrying a bottle of water while walking in a pool. We're learning the countryside version of common sense the hard way, Zach.
Yeah, I guess hard way being until the plot character tells you to do it, you can't really do it. But anyway, I suppose now might be a good opportunity to go into the items and... I guess this one, yeah. Use the radio, which we've had for quite a long time and does serve the very handy purpose of just letting us teleport around the game world. Which I would have used before, but I did want to see if there was going to be any of the York car dialogue. But let's go to our house, which we just kind of own in town, even though we don't acknowledge that in the story at all, because it's supposed to be a DLC thing. But I do wonder what her shape is with our current suit. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, we have to go into the suitcase to actually check that. Looks almost brand new, no problem. Increase your sex appeal. Oh boy. Maybe we should change anyway. Am FBI? Like I am FBI? Well, field op suit I think is, yes, one of the ones with benefits that just kind of stack in a pretty poignant way, so because you're gonna want to save that for more dire occasions, which I don't think we're gonna have right now, but I don't even know. Increase your life gauge, increase HP attack power times 3, 24 hours ready to get in. Or maybe it's getting clean right now, maybe we already wore it. Almost brand new, refreshing green suit, Hawaiian blue, cherry blossom, ready stripe. I guess the ones we're wearing right now don't really have any special effects. I guess we're gonna change clothes to this one. I'm gonna watch this one, even though we probably barely even wore it before. But hey, we get an extra for 20 clothes, so we certainly made a good return on investment in that $2 that it cost to have the other suit cleaned. Don't think we really need to do anything else, but let me check in here just because I'm pretty sure, yeah, we can look at our limit for carrying weapons and carrying items, and we can carry 3 more weapons and 30 more items, but I don't think we need to do either of those things. Like, what items do I have on backup, and can I even carry more of them? Cheese, chocolate, stabilizer. Well, I think we already used stabilizer in the only point of the game where you kind of have to do it to be at peak efficiency, which is a darts minigame, trying to master that. So let's try to figure out which way is the way out again. I am very good at finding my way around. So let's back to Harry's, where we're going to have to drive length of the way. I guess something else we could do is like go to the hotel. I think that's where the rest of our cars are, and grab something different from there, which I probably will. I guess we'll grab York's car. That's the one that it takes the highest amount of effort to actually be able to acquire. Interesting design. Is it just me, or did the voice in this version sound kind of weird? Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's probably the artifact of how I'm playing it, but where's the hotel actually? Right here, hotel, there we go. But yeah, it sounds a little bit echoey, I've noticed, but I'm pretty sure this is nonetheless the less technically headachy way that I could be playing this, so it's probably an acceptable quirk. So let's see. Pretty sure this is the car I want. This plays a racing idiot track, right? Yes, it does. Okay, yeah, it's like the most overpowered car in the game. But I don't think we can actually do the teleport while we're in the car, so we have to get in and get out just to mark it as our car. And then do the thing. Okay, here we go. See on this director's cut, more plot, I assume. Yeah, I think it's a few details. There's like a few scenes that show up in like a framing device that weren't in the original, but other than that, I don't remember all the technicalities. Maybe a few things with how the game plays. But like, yeah, I don't know. Remembering like a lot of details about what actually changes with the actual gameplay. But I do recall that I'm pretty sure the framing device kind of scenes and like the longer ending that we're eventually going to see. And a certain variation of a song that shows up during the ending credits. I'm pretty sure it's only in this version.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, finally you have arrived. You are welcome to come inside.
I suppose we couldn't just have driven up, even though I'm pretty sure that when you're not. Oh, okay, never mind. We don't have to drive, so it didn't really matter. I guess we can save. Probably should save, even though I don't think I've had any problems with the saves breaking in this particular iteration. Yeah, we have a giant collection of trading cards that we've managed to acquire so far, even though we still have a few to go. There's at least one that cannot be acquired until after we beat the game.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, please proceed to Mr. Stewart's room. There he awaits you, I shall assume.
Oh, I believe so. Because even though it's been quite a while, I recall the previous episode ends with, or chapter, I guess. Yeah, it is like that. The episodes are the longer divisions and the chapters are like the individual bite-sized plot points, or relatively speaking, shorter plot points. Until your meeting is finished, I shall be locking the front door. If you get tired or become famished, what we have, please use as yours. But in the previous chapter, Harry ended up giving us, or offering us, like a bowl full of red seeds that are linked to these mysterious murders that are connected not only to what's going on here in town, but apparently to a bunch of other places. But yeah, I guess you're just locked in here now until you complete this visitation. So you can just use their food or their bed or their whatever else they have here. Piano Sonata number 14, Moonlight. Number 23, Appassionata. Number 26, Les Adieux. These 3 musical scores have been left open at one of Harry's games. Well, we shouldn't try to get in here, even though that might be the way forward. Well, it's 14, 23, 26. I'm not sure if we should remember that. I'm sure it'll come back to me, but... Okay, this one's locked. Don't know if we should focus on the numbers or the names there. This door wasn't locked. Oh yeah, forgot for a moment. You can either open doors the normal way, like a normal person, or you can open them while running, which will result in you barging through, which is probably what people who speedrun this game, who I assume exist, do at every opportunity. Well, this one's not open though. Perhaps if I mess with this. Statue of a cavalry trooper might move along the grooves in the floor. Must be another one of these gimmicks, and yet doesn't look like any of these statues are outwardly different. We got... Oh, these are individual numbers. I thought there were multiples of 10 for some reason, but oh well, these are multiples of 10, but then... Okay. I think we did need to focus on the numbers after all. Let me see if I can remember, I believe it was 14, 23, 26, so 2 are gonna be along this line. Well, 6 is like the shortest or highest number that you can select that's not a multiple of 10. So whatever one of the numbers is, it cannot be higher than whatever multiple of 10 plus 6 anyway. Oh, okay. Just let you know when one of them is locked in. That's handy. So it should just be a matter of getting these boys in place. You know, not forgetting the quirks of how the pushing boxes along grid mechanics work in this game, and how could we, considering that as part of this prodigious 100% run we did do the, you know, helping with the milk barn inventory minigames. Wait, but, okay. Does it force you to let go of the push button once you get to one of these junctions, even if you don't actually do that? Oh, so it does, even though it looks like it doesn't really eat that much into the tired bar. Breath, heartbeat bar, I don't know. That York has. But I have the question, you know, at which point during any part of the game are you gonna be pushing stuff for so long that that bar actually becomes a problem? I don't think such a place exists for someone who is 100%ing this game. And perhaps it was a little bit farther than necessary with this last one, but this should be it. Wow. Well, maybe now we can just barge our way through the door. Perhaps just try and make our way as efficiently as possible over to the place that we're supposed to be going to, but also just run in the opposite direction and perhaps even make a full lap. Okay, maybe not quite. No opportunity to examine the clock. This door wasn't locked. Our lord seems intent on playing our little game. Well, to oblige by shooting the lock, I don't know if this is just gonna take us back to the place that we were at before. I suppose it is, yeah. So we've unlocked a shortcut, but what lies behind this door that also was not locked? Okay, some agent honors, can't forget to grab those whenever possible. We gotta recall there's supposed to be a place. Probably just one of the spirit maps or something that you can replay. And is it the spirit maps? It might be the spirit maps I'm thinking of, or it might just be just literally any of the Otherworld stages. Or if you replay them, you can basically find a ton of agent honors, and you don't have to worry about money if you do that. But better to just be efficient and keep on advancing through the game however you can, while getting money, which I suppose is not going to be a problem considering how we're trying to do everything. And here we are, I guess, in the big viewing room. The orc taking his time to get into frame. Here, I'm gonna drop some seats on your pristine, shiny floor.
Harry, turns out what you said was true, and I'd like to hear more.
York, as you know, there's a powerful mystery surrounding these seeds. You've seen them at those other murders that took place elsewhere. And you've seen them deeply involved with the murders in this town as well.
That's right. But how do you know all this?
York, you must be younger than you look. Youngsters tend to hurry so much that they let things slip right past them. What you need to do is slow this down a bit. That way you'll see what's really important. Let me tell you a story. 50 years ago, when the war was over, just about when the communist Reds started to become a rising threat, our town constructed a huge clock tower. Then, soon afterwards, a serial killer wearing a red raincoat went on a killing spree.
The legend of the Raincoat Killer? Stop playing games with me, Harry. That's nothing more than folklore. The FBI has no such record of a multiple homicide case in this town.
York, Anna, Becky, and now Diane. Their deaths are real, not folklore, not legend. The Raincoat Killer is also real. But under a strict gag order, the mass murder case was never made public. In fact, one could say that it was completely erased from history. Tell me, who do you think would be able to do something like that?
The military.
Very good. A model student.
But if there are no records about it, then how do you know it really happened?
Good question, York. Why would I know this? The answer is very simple. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. The brutal killer himself. But we can talk about the details of that encounter another time. What we need to talk about is your Raincoat Killer. The new Raincoat Killer, if you will. The new Raincoat Killer. Yes, let's call him that. After all, he's not the real one. What you want to know more about is the new one. Between 10 and 20 years ago, I noticed that these red seeds were special, and someone else did too. The human imagination can lead to tragedy sometimes. Someone linked the red seeds to the serial killer legend and said, if you eat the red seeds and then kill someone, you will become immortal. This new fabricated legend was passed on from one to the next, evolving and changing every time, like a rumor. Some may have actually taken the seeds to try them out, to prove the legend, that is. York, the red seeds you have found from those other murders, they all came from this town, together with that one evil rumor. People on the other side of the planet may have heard of it by now, and new seeds might be growing in different parts of the world.
So you're saying that the series of cases I've been following are all linked to this town? That's interesting, Harry. But there's no evidence to support that story. None of the criminals we caught for the other murders ever mentioned anything like that.
It's your job, your role and duty to look into that, York. Now, the game must go on. You know I said that the incident 50 years ago was totally erased? Well, not quite. Records still exist in the sheriff's office. The old sheriff back then hated the military and did his own investigation. I need you to bring those documents here to me. Once you've done that, I'll tell you everything I know.
Okay, it's worth a look. And we may as well let the old man have his fun.
Well, I'd say the way that he presented that tone-wise may have been a bit shady, but I'm just gonna shrug that off. And where save as usual, I guess the autosave that I have active is not actually an autosave, but just like a... Well, maybe it isn't. So I think you get that save prompt at the end of every chapter, regardless of
Case that happened 50
what your settings are, but...
Let's play along with the old man for a little longer, shall we?
Zach, that means we need to head for the sheriff's department.
But what else was I gonna say? Well, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Don't think we're gonna get too deep into the technicalities of what the saves are right now, but yeah, once again we could teleport and that would definitely be the most efficient way of getting over there, but you know, might as well get some use out of the car. Oh shoot. And see if York has anything else to, oh dear, to say. Okay, so the handling in this car is a little bit interesting if you speed up. Dude, my heart hurts so much that I can't even think of this thing. Okay, det här stället. Okay. Qué descanses, no te preocupes. Ahí nos vemos. Que duermas bien. Well, what do you know? It looks like flippin' York doesn't actually have anything more to say right now, so maybe I'll just find a way to, or find a place. I guess this place could be as good as any. Just stop off for a moment so I can go off and use the radio instead. There's no reason not to at this point if we're not getting anything out of driving more. Oop. Where are we going? Are we going to the sheriff's department? I think we're going to the sheriff's department, yes. I hope that the time at which we're trying to do this is sufficiently sufficient. I think it closes at 5, so it should be fine. At any rate, oh boy. This, oh okay, this, I was gonna say, looks interesting, but that's because it was placed in an interesting fashion, this camera. Oh, here we are.
Can there really be documents here that the FBI doesn't even have? What do you think, Zach?
York, I told you, that's nothing more than local folklore.
Harry said that he was there.
The Raincoat Killer is a phantom, made up to scare children long ago. I can't believe you fell for that from Harry, of all people.
I agree with George. Harry likes to play with people. Play with their minds, too.
George, Emily. Of course I don't believe him word for word. But you won't mind if I at least try to confirm that he's wrong, will you?
Well then, Can you look for the files by yourself? I'm still looking for Thomas.
Very well.
Emily, open the filing room for him.
God, I had also forgotten that Emily had been left in the catsuit costume. Oh shit. What's this now all of a sudden?
They're here too, Zach. This might mean we're getting warmer to what we need.
Here too, and they appeared right when we went out of that door, even though I thought Emily was with us. At least, but oh boy, it's time to go through another funky Otherworld level. I think if I really wanted to, I could like replay the Otherworld stages that are left in the game, like right after they come up, just for the sake of getting the cards that are in them as quickly as possible, but it's not really necessary, I guess. The door wasn't locked, you know what that means. You know, the whole question he said at the beginning, are there really documents that even the FBI doesn't have? I would imagine that there's a lot of documents that the FBI doesn't have, like, I don't know, if I make up a certificate of nonsense and I put my picture on it and I paste it on there and write a bunch of stuff, that's technically a document that I've just created, and the FBI doesn't have it just because it exists now, does it? Oh boy, what kind of profiling are we doing here? Surely not suggesting that there was more murder activity, but I guess we've done profiling in, I think, every Otherworld stage, including ones where they're not linked to one of the murders.
Still missing a vital piece of the puzzle.
And when you know we're gonna have to look for the spooky evidence as usual. Oh boy. I mean, isn't this supposed to be the filing room, or at least some kind of room for some kind of storage? That's what these things are for, isn't it? Well, it's good to confirm that they're only on one side. What shall we find in here? Shall we find some nice item like a first aid kit medium, which we're not gonna pick up for reasons that I've already explained. Well, there's a red one. That means that one must be important, so naturally that means we leave that one for last. And then, yeah, I did remember that one of them had an interesting surprise like this. I was kind of just wondering if there was any possibility of the, you know, if the dude stayed in there, if that thing was just gonna recede back into its recess without, like, with him still in it, but I guess not. Alright, nothing. Auto bullets, I guess we can put that in our... Oh, we can't keep this. What about the toolbox? Oh, we literally can't make... I thought there was at least one type of bullets that we could still put in our backup thing, but I guess not. Well, at least there we go. I guess I can at least try to... Someone removed something. From 1956, so if that was 50 years ago, I guess this game is implicitly taking place in 2006. And remember, no, I'm pretty sure this game came out in 2010, so that doesn't match the release year for this game. Well, I guess that means that we're not gonna get much out of that. Is what I can interpret that little sigh as. Okay, that's where the dude came up. This is where the other first aid kit was. I guess something that I didn't think about though is if I try to put this in the toolbox. Okay, so there's still room for these things in the toolbox. That's probably what I should be doing, or trying to do with them anyway. I think. So we found one of the profiling pieces, so maybe now we can move on deeper into this place. See what we got left to discover. Like these 12-gauge shotgun shells. We definitely could carry more of those, but definitely we're not using them very much even before we, got the unlimited alternative. I think, like, for at least one of the weapons we're carrying, we may have literally just found. Oh shit. Might have literally found the infinite version of that weapon before we found the regular version. Oh gosh. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. I need to remember too that the button for reloading is not square but circle. Count pineapples. I guess we'll send that to the. I think this one's actually kind of rare as far as the foods in this game. Oh shit, go. You can get infinite counts of pickles from out of the sleeping spots, but. Oh. Doesn't look like we have a means to get through the door on the other end. What does that mean? Are there doors in another part of the hall that we need to try, maybe, or maybe we need to make this thing disappear? Kill you. Oh, I forgot. I guess square is actually for the flashlight, which I hadn't noticed before. I think you know. Oh, hey, this door is open. The one that's right next to the danger spot. Oh shit. Probably shouldn't leave any of the ones that have guns alone for too long. I don't think I've ever actually been hit by one of the armed shadows so far, but would probably be painful. I guess we'll just fill our storehouse with canned pineapple and cherry pie and what have you. I guess we're past the point where any of these black blotches on the floor are going to actually go away. Oh shoot. I feel like this room, we've seen this, the version of this room in the real world. It's where Emily's stuff is. It might actually be one of these. I think it's one of the desks on this side, but just the layout of it in general, I want to say, reminds me of, just that extent. You learn a lesson from Thomas, who sits somewhere else, maybe. Maybe here where the red seeds are, or maybe across. No, well, if one of these is Thomas's desk, we're not gonna dwell upon it, I guess. Yes, he has like a giant jar of sweets. And yeah, there's probably I'm pretty sure there's a room in one or both versions of Resident Evil 2 that has the same kind of layout that jumped to mind for a moment. So let's do some profiling, maybe. If that is the next. Yeah, the next piece of the puzzle that we need for that. And there we are. Guess we only need one more piece now. I think it is. Oh shit! I think it is mostly. Oh dear. Maybe we can actually go to the other end of this place now and get through this door, but I think it is mostly. No, I guess we cannot. Mostly 3 pieces of evidence or spooky nonsense that you need to collect on each otherworld level, isn't it, to get a full profiling. And a couple of times I'm fairly sure it's been more, but I also believe that's the exception. Is this door the door that we've already been through? No, it is not. I'm sure I would remember going into this room. And then there's a room like this where there's kind of a giant square with labyrinthine and arbitrary obstacles scattered through it, which, of all things, you know, I guess combined with the spooky zombie enemies that you got in here, reminds me of the maps in Dementium the Ward. Which is an interesting game. It's basically born of a failed pitch to try and put out a Silent Hill game on the DS, the original Nintendo DS. They said no, basically, and they decided, hey, let's turn this into, like, an original horror title of sorts so we can still make some money out of it. And that was the first Dementium game. Oh. And yeah, it was interesting to be sure. I remember back when I first played it years ago, I was fairly surprised by it being actually pretty compelling gameplay-wise, and maybe a little bit plot-wise, but I mean the fact that it didn't actually manage to be Silent Hill is pretty evident in the long run. And then there's the sequels, which, well, the sequels slash related games and remasters, which are like Moon. There's another shooter game in that same vein, with those interesting controls. There's Dementium 2, which is an actual sequel, which oh fuck. Remember I couldn't get to emulate properly back in the day, but that should no longer be an issue for a few different reasons, and for some bizarre reason it also got like an HD remaster thingy on PC that's actually, and maybe other platforms as well, that's actually janky as hell and pretty difficult to get running good enough that you can get past the first level. And they actually made a Dementium Remastered and Moon Chronicles, which are basically remakes of those games for the 3DS specifically. And I'm like, yeah, I want to get around to checking out all of these at one point and not just say, hey, I played Dementium 1 and that's it. I don't know, there's too many cred things to experience. I don't know how else to describe it. Okay, we're definitely full to ridiculous capacity on the small first aid kits at least. Well, I think some of the blotches that these guys come out of have at least been, well, eradicated, but apparently this one that's right in front of the door that we came in through is not wanting to give it up. Kill this dude, and if that still doesn't do anything, I think I'm going to... Nope, just gonna check out the red stuff here. Dried drops of water. Okay, so that time I didn't even need to, like, interact with it separately from observing it. Wonder what the dried drops of water could be about. Now this guy's just chuckling behind me. It's kind of distracting, but I believe this means we can put together the whole picture. Surely we won't, you know, have this sort of internal imagine spot and then snap out of it and then the guy's gonna be right there still. Surely that won't happen.
Zach, looks like we need to continue our search for the documents.
Even after we've realized that maybe we won't find the documents here.
Right to the point. It looks like someone else has just removed the documents I'm looking for.
Huh? Removed?
The cabinet looks like it had been forced open.
That's impossible. No one could break into there.
No. Emily, there is one person that can access that room at any time.
You don't mean Thomas?
It's too early to speculate. And profiling is my job, remember? More importantly, Emily, could you get me a coffee? A fresh one if possible.
Coffee? At a time like this? Why now?
Emily, please. This is very important. Some coffee. And bring some milk on the side.
Zach, you know something, don't you? I'm getting us some coffee. So tell me what you know.
Ah, Zach, this is amazing. Even the taste of her coffee is thrilling, to say the least.
What?
No, nothing. This isn't the cup that Thomas always uses for me, is it?
I'm sorry about that too, then. I just used a cup that was nearby. You have a problem with that?
Problem? Not at all, my dear Emily. The coffee is perfect. Well, okay, taste aside, this cup certainly is perfect. George, Emily, we're going to Velvet Falls. There's something waiting for us there. I can feel it.
York, are you joking? You're trusting your cup?
No, Emily. Going to a waterfall just might be a good idea. In feng shui, a waterfall is known to be a source of power. Even if we find nothing there, I'm sure it will give us some power.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, George. And don't forget to bring a fishing rod.
All right, I'll go get it.
Fishing? Are you too serious?
George, do you have a net?
Well, I don't know how net fishing would end up working in this game, but we've certainly done enough of the other type of fishing. Just because we need to be able to get at some of them trading cards. And how can we possibly resist that, you know? Oh yeah, there you go. Go to an otherworld stage and get a good chunk of money. I don't know that we're gonna be using money for too much at this point though, given that I think we already bought all the extra cars from the junkyard. And probably everything else that we need to worry about as well. Okay, a couple chapters from now, we might be able to get a new card, but not quite yet. Right now it's time to
Zach, I hope we can catch a big one.
come back here. I mean, we already know that the big fish being present here is a real thing, I suppose, given that... Well, I suppose we're forced to acquire the fishing rod. Or to use the fishing rod right now, I guess. Do we have infinite regular bait at least? But we did have to do that side quest where I think we can only catch the big fish here when it's raining, and then we have to release it again, just to show off how great we are to the forest keeper, I guess. I was gonna say ranger, but I don't think that's quite what that guy's supposed to be. Forest caretaker, I don't know. That lives near here. Forest marshal? I don't know, I think guys are called forest rangers are supposed to like have like a specific ordainment and dress a certain way. I don't think that applies to this guy. So I don't truly remember what term they used for him in this. But hey, we got nothing so far. Oh, there we go. Oh, goodness. Oh, we got a present there. What is a present even? I don't quite remember. Oh, I guess I waited too long, so that's gonna pick something for me. We're gonna catch some food, candy, or other consumable. Well, we're gonna catch that anyway. I forgot that stuff, those tiles.
This doesn't look like the documents we need. Try again.
Those tiles are actually what gets fished up. Well, yeah. These weren't the documents we needed, but there is a present there. I can't remember what the... I do remember that the pink present tiles are the ones that are trading cards, but I don't remember what the other present tiles are supposed to be. I'm kind of paranoid that if I try to go for the actual present tile, it'll just end up not letting me keep whatever this is, even though I did it on the first try. Thankfully I remember how the tracking works.
Zach, this doesn't look like the documents we need. Try again.
Well, damn. I guess we don't want a present. Alright, let's identify. But we're gonna have to actually aim for to catch those documents. Pretty sure I already saw the icon for it. It's like the binder thing. The documents which, given that we already missed our chance to remove them from this flowing stream a couple of times, I'm sure they're still gonna be waiting there for us even if we don't move from this spot. Oh, here we go. Let's see. So the documents are there. Oh gosh. Let's see if I got it. Oh, I did get it. Can I aim for the surprised Emily? That's right after the present, basically.
Good fishing, Zach. We've caught something to brag about now. In all the history of the FBI, I'm probably the only one who fished out documents thrown into a waterfall. Don't you think so, Zach?
I just don't believe it. Files from a waterfall. What does that all mean?
It's called The Legend of the New Raincoat Killer. George, have you ever seen this handwriting?
Yes. It's Thomas's.
George, I need to take these documents to Harry. He said he'd tell me everything once I take the docs to him.
But those are classified. I can't allow a civilian to view them. Especially that deranged old goat who owns most of the town.
I agree with George. Harry is... how can I put it? He might be dangerous.
You don't need to worry. You said it yourselves, didn't you? There has never been a mass murder case in this town. That means these documents pertain to a case that never actually happened. Just look at it as though they never actually existed either.
Ridiculous.
York, I'm sure you've got a plan or something in mind? Okay. You have my approval.
George, are you sure?
Emily, we need to continue looking for Thomas. Our search may just have become a hunt.
Yes, get on it. I'll go see Harry alone.
Okay.
wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it for myself. But Thomas?
There's got to be a rational explanation for this.
Zach, George has started to change. I think the deaths of Becky and Diane had a deep effect on him.
I guess this town truly is without a king now.
A deep effect. I don't know if they affected him. Oh God, that's something that actually hurts to say out loud, but there you go. Well, I don't know if that bizarre choice of selection of instructions that we just fished up, something that we've actually seen come to fruition so far, since I don't know if
Let's pay Harry a visit and get to the bottom of all this.
don't know if Diane counts as having not spoken while she was dying.
I do like spending a bit of time investigating alone.
I'm getting a bit sick of being told that I'm either too slow or too fast. You agree with me, right, Zach?
Well, I don't know. Investigating alone. Oh, the 13th veil. Goodness me. We need to assume that this is our car. I'm going to hope that this is currently marked as our car, because we are going to teleport over to the next place, which is back to Harry's mansion. Not know if it's anything like the last time we did this. We're probably just gonna get teleported over to the mansion as soon as we've been seen on the camera in front of the gate or whatever. So let's get on with it.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, finally you have arrived. You are welcome to come inside.
And yeah, here we are. We even skip the foyer with the public telephone this time. We go to a different room with a public telephone.
Looks like the next game is hide and seek. Huh?
Except we may have to do it a bit more proactively, because we're in gun zone again. Well, let's bring out the old reliable. And get through another one of these stages. Yeah, I suppose these stages kind of come in quick enough succession in this part of the game that you don't really... Probably just not gonna feel like doing them right after you've done them the first time. Actually, I feel like we're at the point where you can't really do like that much open world stuff anymore until you get to the end game.
She looks like Diane. And Carol. Zach, look. Emily.
But how could that be being shown to us? I wonder. Picture of the forest. This forest looks really mysterious. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ladies dancing in there, even though 3 have died so far. What could that mean? Oh boy. What could that imply for us as well? What do we have over here? High quality beef. Large amount of your hunger. Well, let's send that over to the toolbox, I guess. How are we doing on hunger anyway? We're doing just fine on sleepiness and hunger. I think if we just kind of try to power through the remainder of these plot chapters that we are right now, we're probably going to be in quite good shape. Oh no. Maybe those black spawn pools on the floor here weren't just there for decoration. Maybe we'll have to apply some degree of force. Incredible. Okay, wait, was that all? Even though only one of those balls disappeared. Okay, well, you know, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, probably. What's the deal here? Why is this red? The door wasn't locked. What about the hole that goes down here? Is there nothing for me here? Well, there is an agent honor. If I can actually go ahead and collect that, and an unbelievably delicious turkey sandwich. Which we're gonna move on to the toolbox. I don't know if I do remember the turkey sandwich being like possibly the best item for recovering your hunger in the game. Well, at least one of the best ones. I think the best item for just about everything is supposed to be Thomas's biscuit, but I don't know if there's like a renewable source of that. Oh, okay. Bit of a Resident Evil moment there. This door wasn't locked. Maybe we'll go over that way. Maybe we'll actually go all the way around again, because I'm actually quite curious about what both of these doors have behind them. I guess we'll try this one first. Oh dear. And now it's gone from being a Resident Evil moment to a Kuon moment. And we cannot pick that up, unfortunately. Maybe the earlier parts of the final level in Castlevania Curse of Darkness moment. We must go all the way around just to be able to progress. Oh, now the glass is being shattered in the other direction. It doesn't seem very material or environmentally conscious. Do you know how long glass takes to decompose naturally? I'm pretty sure it takes longer than most of recorded history. It takes about 4 times as longer. Yes, that makes sense. No, it takes about 4 times either longer or as long as plastic, from what I remember. Just gonna ignore these unequally placed statues inside the hole here. Ooh, how could this be? Another shortcut back, just as we experienced when we were going through just a regular version of this mansion just a while ago. But also some extra agent honors, which I will not say no to. Locked door. Perhaps another way to... Oh, I'm guessing that the other side of the door that we already saw, so that door with the red shinies on it, wasn't actually the way forward. That was deceptive. It was a way that might eventually lead forward, but doesn't seem like it did when we first came across it. 45 bullets, I think these are for... Actually, never mind. I was gonna say a rifle, but it looked more like some kind of machine gun that we've potentially not seen yet, if the one that we're holding right now is not it. Hold on. So this is the door, isn't it? That was... Is it? Hold on. No, this is the door. So what I was going to say just a moment ago is correct. That's a door that was locked with a padlock that we had to shoot off, but now that we have... a little bit about what we can do to progress. Can't try to open whatever this is, can we? Nope. And there's no other doors back here, right? Even though I thought this was like the only other place that we hadn't checked out yet. Go into this inner area, but there's probably nothing here, just a phone, suit, changing place. This is where you can shave if you're weak. Door we can't open. Guess we'll try the door with the red sparkle so I can confirm that that's just a shortcut, and perhaps it isn't. Perhaps it actually leads somewhere different, but wouldn't that be a little too convenient? Oh no, it does in fact lead somewhere different. So I don't know what the other door with the red sparkles actually was about. This one is blood these barrels first and foremost here. Oh, goodness. Maybe we shouldn't have blown this up right away. Maybe we should have waited until these guys came out to use them, but oh well, too late now. We do have unlimited bullets though, so I reckon it's probably gonna be fine. Well, who else is here? Is he gonna fall over or what? Come on. I wonder why it takes such a long time to actually do that. In the event that you manage to like get a headshot or whatever to actually deplete their health, but don't knock them over immediately. Oh shit. And there we are. What kind of drops did we get? Probably 8 shotgun shot that we can't use. I guess that's pretty much it. Oh well. Yes, I don't know. A lot of these rooms are starting to look eerily familiar. After the fact. After finding out that you've in fact been progressing a certain way, I don't know. Oh shit, okay. Let's not get little hang-ups like that. That's making me paranoid. It's making me feel like I should be saving more often. Hey, what do you know? There's a few agent donors in here and also something. I'm gonna prompt one of these spooky shadows to learn how to open doors. Well, I guess to steal her first aid kit medium was too much for her to bear. So she came in here to try to stop me, but it didn't quite pan out in her favor. Okay, well, show me what the other side of this door looks like. Oh, it's the door behind the statue, okay. Maybe I should have taken that as my opportunity to save, but we'll take a gamble here. I mean, I haven't gotten an actual like game ending hangover or anything like that from this version of it yet. Even though I continue to think that that is surprising and something that I should be thankful for. Oh goodness. Even if it does keep making me paranoid from time to time. Oh dear, what is this?
Emily!
At times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist, even if it means losing someone that you love.
Stop!
Zach, did you see that? I must be getting tired.
I think a few of us are getting tired. You know, understandable. But yeah, what could it mean? Could mean that I only just now realized that we were not actually doing any profiling in this other world stage, so maybe some of the stuff that I said earlier was not actually correct. Should we push it? Would be fun if Mansion transforms into something unexpected. Well, we do have a couple of switches and statues here, and not much else to go on. So we might as well begin experimenting. Oh, what? I just pushed the other one? What else could that mean? Bit of an unexpected place for that. Very spooky shit's about to go down, warning music to show up, I dare say. But now we found it. How do we find here? And I guess we noticed that now all of a sudden that we've gotten down here, the spooky otherworld influence seems to be fading away for now. Well, we did what we had to. It's locked now that we've come in here. So no way to go but forward into the war room. Obligatory full continent spread map there. For when you need to show that you're scheming something dodgy. What are these locations even? There's one in Japan.
Zach, looks like we're out of the countryside and back in civilization.
Welcome, York.
I brought the documents. Just what is going on in here?
I warned you about haste. Take it slow. You'll lose sight of what's important if you just rush past it. As an agent of the FBI, I'm sure you know. So many people have got it all wrong. They think speed is the key. That being first is the best. They want speed and are satisfied with what the speed brings, even if it means that they miss so much on the way. They don't even see that. I see everything that they don't. From here, I see it all. Then, when the time comes, I make use of what I've seen. I can get whatever I want in this way. Anything at all.
You're certainly talkative today, Harry. But I didn't come here for a business lecture. Tell me everything you know.
Speed is not important. Timing is what is important. Timing. York, you have a natural gift for waiting for the correct timing. Just be careful that your haste does not ruin everything. That will be vital to solving the current case at hand. York, I know more than you think, but less than what you hope. 1, you have Nick in custody. 2, Thomas is missing. 3, Carol has a locket that belongs to the murderer. I also know that this case revolves around the red seeds. But that's about it.
So you've got an inside line on police information.
That reminds me. The victims' tongues were cut out, weren't they? But that's only a minor point. Don't let the shocks blind you to what's more important. That That's another business tip.
Harry, I'm impressed. You gather information really well. You hacked into the FBI network, too. Amazing. But I didn't come here to hear this.
Then let us close the business seminar. It's time for a history lesson instead. I remember it as though it were yesterday, if you'll pardon the cliché. It was dark, raining, a foggy night. My parents, who normally got along, were fighting over something. My father was blaming my mother, it seemed. So I left the house and headed for the clock tower. There was a party being held that day to celebrate the tower's completion. I wanted to see the town from above, and so I decided to climb the tower. Curious child, and saw it being constructed day after day. I'm not sure why, but I was really drawn to the tower in some way, and that's why I knew. From the pit in the theater, there's a path to the clock tower. They were just cleaning up after the party, so it was easy to get into the theater. I used the secret passage to sneak into the tower. But when I reached the top, I saw something very strange. There were soldiers there, all wearing gas masks. I moved closer and saw that they were fiddling with some kind of device. The device was emitting purple smoke outside. Just then, for the first time, the bell rang throughout the town. I reacted with fear and left the tower as fast as I could. When I got outside again, the purple fog was spreading. I covered my nose and mouth and ran home. I unconsciously counted the number of times the bell rang. After the 12th time, the bell did not stop ringing. It rang a loud 13th time. I got back into town to see another, even more disturbing sight. The people were attacking and killing each other, rampaging as though insane. One man, dressed in a red raincoat, was particularly strong. Anybody who attacked him was killed in an instant. I, too, started to feel violent hate boiling up inside me. I tried, but was unable to suppress it. One word resonated through my head. Kill! 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 Without thinking, I took a branch and attacked the man in the raincoat. For a moment, I didn't know what was occurring. The face beneath the hood was that of my father, painted with an expression I had never seen before. Hatred and angst. He clearly saw me, but that did not stop him from attacking me. He knocked me out, and I fell to the ground. The following morning, I awoke surrounded surrounded by dead bodies. It wasn't raining anymore, and the purple fog was gone. I couldn't believe what I saw and what I myself had done. But even worse things were waiting for me when I got home. My mother was dead, killed, presumably also by my father. The next day, the town was overrun by military personnel. That's when the gag order was issued. Talking about the incident was unappreciated, a taboo. But even still, people stopped going outside when it rained. Country folk are very patriotic. We never tell our children about what happened. But these things find a way out of even the tightest of lips, in parts. People only speak of the killer in the red raincoat, which is where the legend of the raincoat killer comes from.
Quite a story.
After the incident, the gas seeped into the soil of the town. Even today, when it rains, a minute amount is released. That's why I never take my mask off when I'm outside. This town is dirty, York.
If what you say is true, then the killer is someone who is badly affected when it rains.
You need to draw the conclusions, not I. I have no conclusions.
Is there a connection between the red seeds and the gas, then?
This is just my own presumption. The seeds and the gas have a similar effect on our nervous systems. I believe someone figured that out and decided to use it. Or it could just be nature's way of getting back at us humans. York! Good news! You'll hear from George soon. They have found Thomas. I'll tell you one last and very important thing. Just as you suspected, everything I have told you is gibberish. I never hacked into the FBI server, and I certainly know nothing about the red seeds. I shall thank you for listening to an old man babble on.
Let me ask you one thing then, Harry. You're a businessman. You must be after something in return for giving me this information.
York, at times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist. Even if it means losing someone that you love.
But that still does not justify murder.
Remember this. Everything changes in form. There isn't a single thing that can maintain its shape for eternity. Overlook this fact. You're making a big, big mistake.
Well, really interesting juxtaposition of hearing the killer's theme with Michael doing the finger wag that we've seen elsewhere, but given that they found Thomas, I think it might be time to look into something that we've not done in quite a while, which is getting a new card, or maybe that's in a little bit and I'm getting slightly ahead of myself. We shall find out, I am sure.
York, we found Thomas.
Ah, he's at his house, right?
How did you know that?
Timing, Emily. Good timing.
Whatever, just get in. George is heading over there already. Let's get a move on.
Zach, things are finally starting to come together. All we need now is for Thomas to fill in the blanks in our new legend.
Alright. We're gonna be driving, I guess. Invites us into the car, and yet... Oh no, I believe it is time to do the thing. I mean, actually try to... Well, if we don't have a conversation in the car here, which we very well might. Oh, whoops. Wrong button, that's what I was trying to do. Just gonna have to check real quick to make sure that I don't have to... Yeah. Don't have to worry about stuff until we get there. I'm pretty sure this is one of those times when we can't actually, you know, get out of the car and teleport, because it wouldn't make sense. I don't quite remember the first time that we heard this song during the plot. I think it might have been in the drive to Becky's house, because shit's going down sequence. Yeah, it would make sense. Because I believe that's something similar to what's going on here, which is you're just driving with someone else from the police to get to X location in time, because, you know, shit is going down. They're probably gonna be needed there. And for this reason, you are not allowed to, you're not allowed to get out of the car or do anything else. And for that reason, too, you'll notice if you glance down to the corner that the car has unlimited gas and durability, which is fairly uncommon. I think, if I recall the layout of the town, all we have to do is just keep driving straight down this road in this direction, and eventually we'll get to place we're trying to. Because I recall exploring this kind of stretch quite a few times, especially for having to unlock stuff like the well, the number of things that you get from the junkyard, and also the amount of times you have to pay off the guy at the gas station just to get him to give you the tip about the car. Oh crap, does it make a difference which one of these roads we take? I don't think it does. I hope it doesn't. I think they both run parallel to each other after this turn ends anyway, and this one should take us closest to where we're going. Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna interrupt any of that with, so I guess really less talk, or at least having a bit of a, I don't know, some kind of expression on what we hope the situation is gonna be like. None of that today. Just another quick flashback to Missouri Falls for, at least if you explore the map in that game and you get like the edge of where the town apparently is, and you have like a, hey, you are now leaving town sign, but you can't actually do that because you have an invisible wall. I believe the roads in that part of the game are quite a bit like these. Oh shit. I'm going to assume we can't actually bring down this fence over here, so let's run around it instead. And I already know George's already here. Surprising, considering he was presumably much closer than we were when we got the news.
George, what's happening?
We received an anonymous call informing us that Thomas returned home. I sent Emily to get you right away.
No idea who made the call?
No. That's why I came on ahead, to see if the information was correct. A light did come on, but only for a second. I saw a tall male silhouette in the window. It was Thomas.
Okay, I'm going in then. You two wait here.
We'll be ready to burst in at any moment. Just call out.
Oh goodness, get a midnight raid.
Zach, it's the same in the countryside after all. The climax of an investigation is always in an apartment.
Just as we may be about to raid this apartment, but maybe a little bit of a difference in the degree of action, as we'll see. But hey, welcome in everyone. Welcome in Max, welcome in Nintendo, welcome in whoever may have dropped in. See if we can get you a quick shout out here if I can even remember how these work. What happens if I do this? Oh, there you go. I believe there's a different thing you can do as well, where you do like the I guess I have to spell it manually for this one though. Do / shout out was given to the Midnights. The Demon Paladin VTuber duo who do quite a bit of things. As in playing a thing that apparently this this particular bot doesn't want to fetch at the moment. That's inconvenient, but yeah, what were you all playing? Perhaps if I will... I guess that was actually maybe kind of a good timing for that though, because I don't believe this song is heard very much at all in this game outside of maybe this moment, so... What was this song? Well, if we return the needle... Here's something different, indeed. Which leads us to start profiling. Here we go. Was it increased per that last time we rated? Well, perhaps in terms of sound. I think it's much. I don't think it's much different. And how I've done things in the past, except that well, I guess I do have the window shut, mostly because I don't think high temperature is a particularly great concern for me at the moment. That might be it.
Too much noise. We're still missing a vital piece of the puzzle.
We're playing Evil Dead, Evil West, Cowboy, Vampire Hunters. Goodness. That seems promising. There is one, well, it was Evil Dead. I was gonna say there's one title that comes to mind. Potentially for a game like that, but it's probably nothing to do with Evil Dead, what I had in mind. Small town preference for LPs over CDs. I wonder if that still holds true after this nebulous 2006-2010 time period. Make and take brand cosmetics. Everyone wants to be someone else. I think you wanted to be a cartoon hero as a kid yourself, right, Zach? But I do recall how there was at least, I don't remember if it was here or in... I don't think it was in any space related to this stream in particular, but I guess we'll carry the cherry pie. Seems only fitting. I was recently reminiscing about my early days in university and how there was like this course, like basic English course that you had to take if you wanted to... Oh yeah, what's in here? Is this the thing I was looking for? I believe it is. Thomas's Biscuit. Can't forget this. The one trading card for this chapter. But yeah, an English course that you had to take to at least understand the language if you're like going into computer science. That you can test out of if you already know the language, which was the case for me, at least for that time that I was there. And I faintly recall reading the end of the novel, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, while I was over there to do that. And of course now the question is, how will that relate to what's going on in the game here? Series of boot prints. Culprit must have entered this room. Very inconsiderately not taking off shoes or using the mat or anything like that. I mean, it seems pretty conspicuous how these were placed. Very methodical. Very pattern conscious.